We're being joined by Peter Kuznick, professor of history and director of the Nuclear Studies Institute at American University from Washington, D.C. Peter, welcome back to WION. What happens if a nuclear site is attacked? What is the fallout?
In terms of radiation fallout, it depends on where they attack. Now, if they're just hitting the areas in Natanz and Fordow that have the centrifuges and minimally enriched uranium, that probably the fallout effects will not be that devastating. But if they hit the nuclear plant at Bushehr, or they hit some of the more highly enriched uranium that the Iranians have, then it could be much more serious. So in terms of the broader fallout, the political fallout, I think it's almost certain that if Israel does attack Iran's nuclear facilities, not only will Iran retaliate in a very, very serious way, but Iran will probably rush for a nuclear weapon. We figure that Iran might be about 2 weeks away from developing it. Under the old Iran nuclear deal, Iran was limited in the number of centrifuges it had and was limited that it could only enrich uranium to 3.67%. But now that Trump abrogated that nuclear deal, Iran is enriching to 60%. And to go from 60% to 90%, which is weapons grade, is really not that difficult a leap right now. So they could have the nuclear weapon certainly within less than a month and possibly significantly less than that.
And Peter, what happens if a nuclear site, you talked about what happens if a nuclear site is attacked, despite the fact that Israel said that it doesn't want to go towards those nuclear sites. At least that's the assurance that U.S. officials say Netanyahu gave the U.S. But how and where do you think then Israel will target Iran? Is it going to be the oil refineries? Is it going to be other places that we still don't know?
First of all, I don't rule out anything. There are people in the Israeli cabinet who are insisting upon attacking Iran's nuclear sites. And that has also been supported by Donald Trump, by Jared Kushner, and other Americans. So even though Biden says that he's gotten assurances from Netanyahu, they're meaningless. You have to remember that Netanyahu has two goals. Number one, to get Donald Trump elected, and number two, to get the United States into a war with Iran. So I'm not sure what Netanyahu might do, and nobody is right now. On the other hand, Iran has also made clear that if Netanyahu and Israel strike their energy sites, their oil facilities, then that would also provoke a serious Iranian response. The third option would be the military targets, which would be the least serious of all three. Americans also forget that while the Iranian leadership has sworn off developing nuclear weapons, polling shows that close to 70% of the Iranian public wants Iran to develop its own nuclear weapons. So, and then it gets really crazy and dangerous, because if Iran develops nuclear weapons, it won't take very long for Saudi Arabia, United Emirates, Egypt, and others to do the same. So then we have a tinderbox that really is ready to explode.
Yeah, I don't remember tensions being this high in the past 2 decades, even 3 decades between Iran and Israel. We'll be watching very closely. And Peter, I look forward to speaking to you again very soon. Thank you for that analysis.
My pleasure. Thank you.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.